is the value of coaching part 2. This is getting uncomfortable to feel alive. Creativity comes from a source of life, comes from a source of creation, literally creation, life, more, expansion, new. And if you are living in a place not like that, if you're not in relationship with things that make you feel alive or be uncomfortable, or if the work itself isn't making you feel alive, the work is going to reflect this. The feeling around your work is going to reflect this. And this is something that a recording artist that I work with, he's an artist client of mine in coaching, has been going through lately. And I want to explain some of the things that we did to get him from a place of feeling comfortable without him knowing it. He was comfortable into a place of aliveness. And it happened over the course of a call a couple weeks ago, where during the call, once he answered, I could just tell. I'm like, he's down. His energy's low. I could already sense something from the content that he was posting. There was something about it that felt like it was just posting to post. There wasn't a connection of who he is related to the post. It's just, here's some stuff from the show. Here's an upcoming show. Go listen to the record. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that on the internet. So if I see that, I don't really know. Is this what about this makes it interesting? What about this makes me want to engage? And so we needed to find the character again. We needed to find him. And so I asked him, what points in your life have you felt most alive or most connected to your work? Tell me about that. Yeah, we kind of just start. He just starts talking, right? And I'm just listening. I'm listening for, by the way, not really what he's saying, but I'm listening for what he's saying for when in connection with a change of tone of his voice. Because I know that if his tone of voice shifts, then we're getting somewhere. If he's just telling me what he's already been doing, I already know that, and he already knows that. We're looking for something deeper. I want to shine a light on something deeper in this moment. So as he's talking, okay, tell me about that. Okay, tell me about that. And then he starts explaining how the idea of being in a room of a couple of songwriters where he's contributing, he's getting stuff back. It's for somebody else's music. It's not even for him. It's just this collaborative effort around a song. Okay, putting yourself in a room, and he starts explaining this. And then being out, when he's out with other creatives, and he's out in the music scene, he's being recognized as a musician, he's being seen as a writer, seen as an artist, seen as a singer by other peers. That makes him feel alive. That makes him feel really good. It's some sort of validation of him as an artist. Okay, let's keep explaining this. Okay, and so I asked him, do you find these things where you're at? Geographically located? Do you find these things? And then he explains, well, I used to, and it was always my dream to be locally famous in this area, to be well known amongst the artists here and amongst the venues and amongst the people doing music in this city. And he's like, I do feel like I've obtained that. Like when I go out now, it doesn't always feel new. It feels like I'm kind of seeing the same people, and I'm not doing any writing sessions because it doesn't really inspire me to write with those around me. But then we start talking about, well, is there a place where that happens? Is there a place where those things occur regularly, all the time, that you could go? Yeah, actually, I was there not too long ago. And then he starts explaining to me about a city where these things happen every day and every night. And there's people there doing this as we speak, and who've been doing it there forever, and who are going to do it there for even probably longer. I don't see it ending. And you can guess the city we're talking about, where there's songwriters and there's a shit ton of venues. There's a lot of music. It would be Nashville. Okay, what about going to Nashville? Which is not a new idea. We've talked about this before. Yeah, well, we just went from an excited tone of possibility and expansion to then we contract. Well, but I can't leave. What about my band? What about all the people I know here? What about, I'm from here. This is where my life is. Okay, but do you see what happened just now? We went from possibility and excitement to constricted to comfort. And I say, well, what if the price of getting what you want is leaving the place that you know and that you're comfortable in? What if that's actually the price? What if money's not a problem here? I got to find a new job there, a day job. I'd have to find a place to live. But I know that this particular person's completely capable of doing those things, as he does it where he's at, and he's a very hard worker and easygoing. I know he would easily land a job. He would easily land gigs. He would easily land writing sessions even. He's equipped for this exact thing, which were his words. He said, I am completely confident in my ability to get in a room and write songs with people. Okay, well, what's actually stopping you then? Because your tone of voice shifts. It contracts. We go in, we go withdraw, and we talk about actually making the step to go there. What's actually stopping us from going there? So then I ask him, okay, can I give you some homework for the week? Can I give you a task? It doesn't have anything to do with music at all. The task this week is when you're driving or when you're sitting around or when you're at work, whenever you're doing something mundane or just that doesn't require your attention, let your mind wander, WONDER, let it wander about life in Nashville. Wander about entering into those studios or those writing rooms or that apartment where you're going to write with this person. Imagine going to a show every night around new people and meeting new people every single night. Imagine getting a day job there and meeting people through your day job. I know a recording artist who was a barista in Kentucky, in a small town in Kentucky, who met a family member of a really big band he's now connected to the really big band from his day job. All they were doing was talking, and he said, yeah, I make music. He said, you make music? My siblings make music, and they're in this band. Shit, I love that band. That's what the artist said, and I actually do like the band too. You have no idea where these opportunities are going to come from. And so he agreed, and I also left him with this. He said, if we don't move towards this, and maybe it evolves to be something else. Maybe that isn't the answer, but it feels like it could be. It feels like it probably is. If we don't do that, what are we going to do? What results, what change can we expect if we don't do something different? And in this case, it would be radically different. It would be uprooting one's life to move. But what do you have to lose? You don't have a family. You don't own any housing in the current city. What do you have to lose? And so this is to me one of the crucial things in coaching, and it's just artist development, is digging in and really understanding what is it that's going on. Is it really the social media that's holding us back? Is it really just, I'm just not inspired, like, well, this is going on in my life, like this is happening? Is it really any of those things, or is it something much deeper? Is it something calling you at a much deeper level that when ignored, you're just stumbling through life doing other shit that's just causing actual problems and holding you back and distracting you from the real thing that matters, the real North Star? I'm looking up to the right because that's the North Star way up there. That's the thing we need to be moving towards. And if we're not doing that, what are we actually doing? Comfort, at the end of the day, comfort kills. Comfort kills. It does. Someone who is comfortable in a world that is unstable, that is not stable. Our world is not stable right now. Things are changing at a rapid pace. We all know this. We all talk about it. A lot of us do. Things are changing. They have been changing, and they're changing really quickly. If you're not changing, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, what are you doing? Stagnating would be at best. Most likely, you're dying. Physically, perhaps. Definitely spiritually. Definitely creatively. So to enter that place of aliveness, make a drastic change. And one of the biggest elements of this is trusting. Trusting that by making this change, by acting on this, I'm going to discover something better, something new, something exciting. And at the end of the day, I can always come back. Literally, you can always go back. You can't always go forward, though. You can't always go pursue the opportunity that you can't always walk through the door that's currently there, that is currently unlocked. You just have to open it and walk through, which takes courage. You have to go for it. You have to try. You have to at least wander. Because if not, we could probably expect to be in the same position and not just same location, but same position this time next week, next month, next year, 2 years, 5 years. So I ask you, what are areas where you are settling for comfort or you're reverting to comfort, where you could be taking the courageous step forward, crossing the next threshold into possibility and creating a better life for yourself and your work? And if you need help with this, please consider reaching out to me, wes@artistdev.co. Visit my website, artistdev.co. I have an application there. You can apply for coaching, or you can just shoot me an email. We can hop on a free call, an intro call, and talk this stuff over.